Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's the hot day of the week again. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm here anyway. I didn't die. All right. So, although some of my adversaries wish I had. All right. Anyway, um, so today is the last of the hot ones, for the immediate while. So we'll be cooling down a little bit. And good morning, Krista. How you doing? Tomorrow will be expected a high of 31 degrees, much more hospitable. Um, and then after that, it will be a much more pleasant high of 23 degrees Celsius in Connecticut. And then Friday, a high of 20. Good morning, Henry Nelson, to you. Good morning to you. So, are we going to have a regular morning show? Well, if I do, it's not going to be no 2 hour show because of the fact is that it's just going to be another hot day in the city, and and that's an issue because you know, of course, it would be nice if we did have the larger screen, so I didn't look like a postage stamp. Um, but everybody says portrait's good for you. Really? Um, hasn't really done me any good since I started doing them. I only got 3 views so far. In other words, people are just waking up and they're realizing they don't have Folgers in their cup. Well, that's true. I do have Folgers in my cup, but I did not place a grocery order yesterday for a lot of reasons. Let's start with the most basic one. I just didn't have the heart to send any shopper out in that heat. And the second reason was I kept trying to make an order, but I wasn't sure exactly how much food stamps I'd have, and so I keep putting the order in, and it'll be declined. And I keep chopping the order down more, and it'll still be declined. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm already starting to take things out of the order that I really wanted to have, and why don't I just wait until the first, which is next Monday, and place the order then? No, thank you. It's probably hot enough just like it is in Morocco. I am not in the mood to go visit Saudi Arabia. Um, Besides, I'm not Muslim anyway. So how you doing, Sultan? Anyway, it's hot in Saudi Arabia right now. Brazil is in their winter, which means no, they don't have Santa Claus and they don't have elves and stuff like that. If they have Santa Claus, or how a holy jolly elf is probably enjoying a nice warm swim in the Atlantic Ocean, being served beach cheese and having a great Christmas winter morning over in Rio. Right, Chris. That's why we're not doing a regular show because it's gonna be too hot to do a regular show. Um, we did it yesterday. Um, It was okay, but somebody said to me, "You look like you're melting." Yep, I'm a melting, all right. All right, so what else, guys? How you doing? We're good people. A little bit overheated, but we're good people. I checked my UPS no power events as of today, as of yesterday. I reset the counter for yesterday morning. We have not had any power events, so the ISO New England has been keeping up with electrical demand and keeping the lights on. It's a great thing. Yes, but Michelle doesn't have a keyboard on her computer in the bedroom. I do, but you can't get at it. Oh, I can bet. The Squamicut will be packed. By the way, is that bar called the Captain's Folly still there? Because my father used to go there back in the 80s, early 80s when we were kids. Um, it was kind of neat because, for a bar, it was well lit. It wasn't dark. It was actually kind of a nice bar. Even as kids could get soft drinks there. Um, I remember we went to Point Judith too, but we didn't like Point Judith that much. It was just something about Point Judith versus Misquamicut. Misquamicut was more hospitable for some reason. And then when we stayed in what town it was at a B&B or Airbnb before they were a thing, um, they went to a place called Blue Shutters. And that was like a town beach. That was kind of, it wasn't that great. So, I also went to Hemanass at State Beach in Connecticut many, many years ago. I got really rocky. And I'm not talking about the movie Rocky. I'm talking about the fact that it was full of rocks. We're talking about Rhode Island beaches. Yeah. That was just Michelle's spirit guide at the time, but I remember her walking around on the beaches. The first time we ever went to Misquamicut, the jellyfish were really bad, and they were eating us alive in the water. It's called Captain's Folly. It's a bar in Misquamicut and a private beach. I would think there'd be ferry there. Yeah. Also, a lot of crab fishing ships are there, and some other fishing ships are there as well. Kind of neat place, actually. I watched the episode of an episode called Lobsterman at Sea that had their ship. One of the ships was based in Point Judith, and it looked like a really interesting crab boat, and I kind of really wanted to go see it. And there was a female sailor on the boat named Rachel Whaley, um, which would have been kind of neat to meet up with her and ask her how she got involved in crabbing. Um, So, also, I sent a message to Studio Restream. I said, hey, you got a lower third. Could you give us an upper third as an option so that we could have, we wanted to have three piece panels on our screen so we could actually fully utilize the screen when needed. Oh, yeah! I'm still waiting for an answer. Also, if you ever use this thing, in, I'll show you this, because if you ever use this thing in full screen, you'll see that I'm cut off the corner and I have to move all the way over here. How about the ability to pan the screen so I could be more center of the screen and not have to mess up my whole head in the process of trying to move the cameras around, because my cameras are mounted on the wall and I don't want to change the position, because then I've changed the position for the live show. Um, 15 people viewing the stream. Yeah. 6 in the house now. 3 likes. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to the Monday when I'm gonna place my food order in. I got enough milk and stuff for right now. I got enough box of cereal for tomorrow. But maybe tomorrow will be cool enough that I can make a quick walk over to CBS to pick up another box of cereal, or finally make the bagels that you were gonna make, which you didn't make yet. That too. That too. Yeah, I'll be so Tina, yeah, 2 days ago suffered from heat stroke. She's in the hospital right now, recovering as of yesterday. And as Golden Girl told us, but anything that should remind you something, people, please dress appropriately, which isn't her issue, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. And second of all, make sure to drink plenty of water. And please, if you can, go where it's not so hot. It's so easy to die from heat exhaustion and heat death. It's not a sobering thought. I showed to Gidgey, and I put it in the Scientific Technology and Weather, about a woman who died in 2021 in Portland, Oregon, where the effective area of the street she was living on was 124 degrees Fahrenheit. Even though she had just gotten home from using paratransit after a doctor's appointment, she did not make it home. It looks like she potentially had decided to walk down to McDonald's and get herself a cold soda, and was walking home when she collapsed on the street, less than 10 minutes away from her home. It will and can take you very quickly if you're not prepared. So if you think you're feeling sick, call emergency services, especially if you don't know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Call emergency services in your area and request help. Okay? This is important. I'd like to see everybody have a safe summer. Let us avoid seeing what happened to that poor woman in Portland, Oregon in 2021. Be careful and be wary and stay alive. Thank you. Now, also the fact is that we have 21 views, 9 watchers. Viewer engagement is 3 minutes and 27 seconds. We're not doing a regular show this morning because it's obviously going to be too hot, and we're not going to basically be able to do a regular show in this room or in the other room because we don't have a setup to do the show in there, except just like we're doing right now. Really, think about it. Maybe doing the show exactly the same way. It's not set up for Google Meets panels. It's not set up for any of that. But we could do panels on here, except panels don't like Android phones for some reason. Oh, yeah, the Restream IO panels don't like Android phones. I don't know why. They just don't. No. I don't know, Hammer Nails. I mean, I would think so, but here's the thing. I got a feeling when she gets out of the hospital, those 3 kids of hers are going to have trashed the house 7 ways to Sunday if they have not themselves have succumbed to high heat. It's the whole family is facing setback after setback after setback. Yeah. I wonder if her family's cursed. I mean, think about all of the situations that happened with Tina in this year alone. From George's mother being in care, and then her husband George being incapacitated with a stroke. Now Tina is partially incapacitated. Yet you got 2 disabled kids and an older brother living at home with no fresh drinking water, no air conditioning, probably no fresh food either. with a healthcare system that really doesn't care because she's not the kind of customer that they want that can afford to pay for expensive care. Um, it's just, it's a tragedy. It just is. It's terrible. Well, the problem is that the congressmen in America are the ones who are allowing this to happen. And the state legislatures and then the federal U.S. Congress, they are allowing this to happen. And that's the reality. It's not it's not fair, but somebody's always saying is it's not my problem. Well, Mr. Congressman, what if it was your brother or your sister? Would you do anything then about it? That's the question. I mean, Americans, the Congress and state legislators are worried about money. They're not worried about quality of life because in this country we're always told, you want better health care, you pay for it. What if you can't? And people say, well, you should just suck it up and just accept what you get. Yeah, but your health care is still worse than even Health and Human Services, uh, National Health Service in the UK is. At least they can get a caregiver. You know, you can't even get that in the United States under Medicare unless you really pull teeth. So what are you going to do? You don't believe in basic right to medical care, and you wonder why there's so many fatalities in America. Good morning, Tiff. How you doing today? Morning to you. So the problem is the system has to change. But the problem is the people who are the ability to make the changes don't want to make the changes. Because they keep saying things like, it's okay, it's fine. Really? How's it fine? Especially in the Democratic states, right? They want free healthcare, free doctors, free this, free education, free illegals, but what about their own people? Nope, can't have it because you're not illegal. Whereas illegals walk around with prepaid cards and cell phones and everything else, your own disabled residents can't get any of that. I'm sure we'll be fine. Can't help it. You know, look, guys, I have to keep alive too, you know. Yesterday was so miserable. I'll tell you how hot it was yesterday. I had the air conditioner running. It was struggling. It really was. It couldn't quite get rid of all the heat. Okay? Rusty pushes the door open. All of a sudden, my bedroom is a sauna. So he goes out for a little bit to do what he has to do. I closed the door to get the cold air back in. Finally, he came back and plopped underneath the bed, lay there for a few hours. I had the door closed, but there was still 2 feet above my head. The air was stifling. The air conditioner could not get all the heat out of the room. Good morning, Tiger Kitty. How you doing today? About midnight, I made some angel hair pasta with butter and some grated Parmesan cheese, which wasn't half bad. And then I took my medication and went back to the bedroom and went to bed. I woke up 5:30 in the morning. Rusty telling me he went to go out, go use the litter box, so I let him out. And of course he wanted breakfast. So I gave him a little plenty of food, and then I went back to bed and woke up about 7 o'clock. I said, okay. So I got cleaned up, got ready for the show, and here I am. Checked the weather, realized it was going to be another hot, brutal day again. I said, oh, I guess for today we're not going to have a morning show, but we're going to have a pre-show like we did last time. Yeah, I'm not doing the 10 because that's when he's going to start cooking. So I'm doing this now as the pre-show, which is the show for today. I mean, I could do a fast little quickie video, but I gotta stay healthy too. You know, it's gonna be just as hot as yesterday. It's gonna be 34 degrees Celsius. It's not going to be any easier on my body than it was yesterday. Well, that's the idea. And that's why we're doing the pre-show. The pre-show is normally less an experiment because Jules will say, hey, you gotta do portrait. I'm like, fine, I'll do portrait my way. Well, you know what you could do? Like people said this, I asked Michelle this, I said, could you actually stream simultaneously both streams at the same time? Yeah. I said I could do that. But how would I keep open both sets of chat? I'd be dividing my audience into two camps. Well, there's a lot of competition on YouTube, and we know that my show lands at the same time Noodles does his. But do you think you can stream simultaneously though? Well, I don't have it set up for today's date. I know that, but could you stream simultaneously? I have to set it up. I could stream simultaneously on both shows, but if I did that, it would just confuse the living heck out of everybody. I don't know if T-Mobile would be too happy with you stealing all those extra kilobits of data to stream 2 shows. This is called the pre-show. And it's already hot. It's already starting to get humid now. So just let people know that tomorrow things should be closer to normal temperature wise, and that the morning show will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Or maybe I might do one tonight too. Uh, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. No. Well, we'll figure something to put on there. Could we drop the truck? I know, you're starting to sound like Lurch. I don't really want to drive the truck. Um, let's see if we can try to see if we can get a short 10 a.m. in. But I'll be honest, it's going to be kind of hard selling point because of also we're stuck at 10,719 subs. Go figure. Why are we still stuck at the same number of subs? I don't know. Let's see, what's the date? It's the 24th. 24th. Morning. Save. Okay. Okay, so I got it set up in the time slot for 10. Anything more like noodles would try to take that away from me? Yeah, but for some reason people subscribe and then they leave, and then they subscribe and then they leave, and then they subscribe and then they leave. And it's like, um, well, I am set up now for 10 a.m. So theoretically, the same software I'm using now, uh, no, you have to change the output of that. It's set for OBS to do 10. Right, right, right. Um, also, I did send a message to feedback to Studio Restream. I always said, if you use um, portrait and you're in portrait, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll notice that I'm partially cut off. Okay? And I said, how about a way I could pan the actual video source to the right or the left, or maybe zoom it so that we can keep in frame. And also, what about upper thirds? You got a lower third option. How about an upper third option? So maybe like an upper third could cover such things as maybe special alert bulletins like heat advisories. Yes, I know I am, especially in donations, yes. Um, and we do have a very loyal audience. We got rid of most of the really disrespecting ones. That's very true. So, but I just don't understand why we can't stay with a growing population. That's the part I'm still confused about. I mean, I can't help it's hot today, and but um, that doesn't mean that I don't want to do a good job. Um, and that's the thing that's probably the most heartbreaking of all is the fact is that I feel. Thank you very much, Hammer Nails. Much appreciate it. And what you could do is continue to share these streams out to the people that you know and explain why you like the show. And we could explain the hostess is multiple handicapped, and yet, even so, she puts her best foot out every day, despite her the disabilities, trying to make a good show. When that's a relaxed environment where people can share thoughts without necessarily being attacked, like on so many channels on YouTube. We don't have a low-cow queen here. We have an everyday person that is the North American snow queen.
Oh yeah!
But during the summer, I sweat just like you. But in the wintertime, or in fall and early spring, I'm a happy camper, that's for sure. And I also want to see more people feel like they have a place to go, where people are happy and content. Thank you very much, Henry. Maybe it's because I understand what what people really want to see. It's not necessarily the flash bang and the whiz bang and all the top tier content, but rather what a host or hostess that shares with her audience or his audience, if it's a man, right? A person that makes you feel like you're his or her main priority in life. Sorry about the fat to the wrong button. Okay, so it is. I think you get the point. Is that well, I wish her the best of luck with her career. But I think after she does that for a few months, a year, I think she's going to probably be throwing her hands up in the air and go, is this really what I wanted? Because I don't feel like it. is what she really wanted to be doing. But you know what? That's her. That's her dark tea time of the soul decision. She's gonna have to accept the answer to that. It's not really a very realistic fart though. Um, because when I fart, it sounds more like this. Sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes. Well, I wish her the best of luck. I'm not against her trying to advance herself on the economic rungs of possibilities. I mean, it's not my cup. It's not my cup of tea. It's not like something I would do.
Are you nuts?
That's what I would say. If that was me offered the same opportunity, I'd say just that. Or maybe,
My, it's a big one.
yeah, but really? Is it really what you would want? Reminds me of the song from Mahogany. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like what things that life is showing you? We did a video talking about that song from the theme from Mahogany with Diana Ross. That's the question that every person, any opportunity of a job, has to ask that question. Sometimes you can take the crappy jobs in order to get the good jobs. Well, I would say to her, congratulations. Hey, I just opened up another. Okay. Just show up in the chat. Stand number of people. Yeah, sucks. Yeah, well. That's what you want, Gidgy. That's what you're happy with. So be it. I'm not gonna stop you. Well, our ideas of well, we're trying to reach out to a different kind of audiences. Yeah, I'd like to be on the top too. But I'm more like the Oprah Winfrey. She's more like Ricky Lake. I'm not aiming to have a show where everybody screams at each other, but rather maybe sits down and discusses it with the hostess, or more like Merv Griffin. I see you more like Merv Griffin. Yeah, or Dinah Shore. Dinah Shore. Yes, definitely Dinah Shore or Oprah Winfrey. I don't see myself as Phil. Oh no, Phil Donahue isn't too bad either. No, Phil Donahue is not too bad. He's not too crazy. Solid Jesse Raphael can be kind of in between. Look, Chris, what's how you doing? It's hot up there in Boston area where you are. I know. I don't remember if your house has air conditioning. I think you do, don't you? I think you do. Yeah, I know they do. That's true, they do. There's enough room on YouTube for another style show. There is room on YouTube for Dinah Shore type show or Merv Griffin type show too. There is millions and millions and millions of shows. It seems like it some videos, some shows, there's room for a dinosaur in Merv Griffin show. Or even a Johnny Carson type show. There's room for that. You don't have to have a show where you just accentuate the negative. Well, thank goodness. That's a good thing, Chris. Make sure to clean your air filter too while you're at it, because they do dust, cool dust after a while. So, sure, we'd love to see nights show, you know, during heat of day like today. We could have done show 10 a.m. We could still try, but I don't really have much to cover at 10 o'clock to really do a full show. Okay, that's good. I gotta clean my filter American sure. I didn't do it yet. But like I said, you do a pre-show and you're trying to reach out, like Noodle says, reach out to a little new viewer count, get the views up. I only got 42 views. And you're going, where's those hundreds of thousands of views that Noodles is talking about? That's kind of scary, think about it, right? I mean, I would love to see. I'm not off the train, but this term I wasn't totally on it either. But I think he's done a couple good things. I wouldn't say he's doing perfectly great. Like, why would he want Coca-Cola to say that they're going to be moving production overseas? Great times. You talk about when he first offered to run in 2008, 2009, and then changed his mind, and then he ran in 2000. Oh yeah, I ran all three times. So right, that's right. Yeah, 2016, 2020, 2024. Well, I I don't know if he's exactly rocking it perfectly great, but you know, I think the one thing that kind of I think is a little disturbing is how he said that there's only two biological sexes in the world. Yeah, realizing that there's a small population of people that are intersex hermaphrodite, and then we're like, what did we do wrong? I voted for peace too. I want to see peace too. But it seems that Iran and Israel have just not like each other. I know for him, it's hard because he wants to keep peace. But right now, the whole world prior to him was already beginning destabilized. What are you gonna do? What can you do? I probably would too. Because you see, Israel is the one who has pushed it on multiple levels with the Palestinians. He's been pushing with the Iranians, the Syrians. It's almost like Israel has warmongers in there that just want to destabilize the whole thing in the Middle East. And that's heartbreaking. We got enough concerns with Russia and China right now. We don't need to deal with a Middle East conflict that really is nothing. I mean, it's like little Israel calls Big Brother. USA save his bacon, but it's the little guy that keeps kicking the bully in the shins, and the bully screams in pain, and he then wants to retaliate. That's what it is. And then the little Israel says, "Ha! My brother will get you." Yeah. What do we get out of it? What do we get out of it? We spend more money defending a country that is instigating the whole problem with other countries. Iran shuts the port of Hormuz. It don't affect us. We have enough oil of our own. But I mean, it makes me really kind of wonder if anyone really takes a serious look at what's going on here. Iran is being bullied into the position they're in. Thank God some of us on Earth are going to 5D. But as the GFL also said, sadly, no, there's a lot of people who are refusing to go 5D. Trust me, guys, there's nothing wrong with going to 5D. It's unconditional love in 5D. It's a completely different paradigm. It's better, but you want to be stuck in fear? And that's all you want to live in life of fear? We don't want to live a life where you can transcend that. That's your choice. I choose not to. I don't want to be in that kind of situation where my whole life is going to be living in fear. You talking about we made negotiation plans with Iran, or I made negotiation plans with Israel? Well, I'll tell you what. They originally had set up a ceasefire, and then Israel said that Iran violated the ceasefire. You talking about Netanyahu? He's a creep anyway. He's just a creep. I don't like him. He's a nutcase. Well, Henry Nails, you gotta finish your soul contract on this earth right now, first. Um, I mean, Netanyahu is terrible. Why does Israel keep re-electing him? Why do they keep re-electing them? They're a republic country. They have a parliament. Why do they keep reappointing this guy? Probably because it's the only choice they have. Probably that's why he keeps getting reelected. Because it's the only choice they have. They don't have anyone else challenging his seat. Well, we need to get Israel needs to get a opponent up there to compete for it to see what Benjamin Netanyahu's in, and hopefully somebody would stand up and say, "Look, enough of this BS with Palestine, enough of this BS with Iran, Iraq, and Syria. Let's just work together and keep peace, okay? It'd be better for us. Then our Iron Dome can refresh, and we can go ahead and enjoy our everyday life with less skirmishes and border fighting." Yes, I do. Yeah, I do, and I am not surprised. Look, as far as Iran's nuclear program, we have always had a bit of a problem with the nuclear program with Iran because Iran's too crazy with the Shah and Khomeini and all those people over there. It's a theocracy, and they're not afraid to launch a nuke if they feel it's going to help them. Yeah, probably it is. Unfortunately, that is the reality of what's going on, Chris. It's drama. That's YouTube drama on the grand scale. I mean, let's look at it. What's the difference between YouTube drama and this kind of drama? Well, YouTube drama doesn't usually involve launching missiles and stuff, but really? Is it much different? Not really. Well, it's already starting to get hot. And so we're not going to have a morning show, I don't think. But that doesn't mean we might not do something later on, depending on what the temperature is going to be like in a few hours. We'll see. I don't like any of it either. I really don't. Right. We should. But we never do. That's the problem. We never do. Well, everybody, we had a great show this morning. I mean, I know it's not as exciting as a regular morning show, but with heat like today, you got to do with what you got. And if I don't want to end up getting heat stroke or heat exhaustion, and I'm just trying to keep myself alive and healthy. With only one air conditioner in the bedroom that's going to be struggling to try to keep the room hospitable. And during 34 degrees yesterday, it really was having a hard time doing it. Maybe I'll just take an edible and just crash after I get the cat in the house for the day. And So I'm gonna say is for now, stay cool, guys. Stay out of the heat. Don't don't overcook yourself. Don't drink plenty of water. Don't overexert your bodies because you still got only this one body for this time on Earth, and for right now anyway. And you got to make the best of it. And so, everybody, I'm going to say right now that I'm going to appreciate you watching the show. Please do share out these pre-shows. I know they don't get announced like the regular shows do. I appreciate that. But, well, you can still announce the show. You know what, though? What? This also has an advantage. What's that? It proves that the notification system is working, at least in part. Oh, yeah! So some people are getting the notifications. Well, what you could all do is help to sharing out the show with your friends. And let them know that because of the heat today, we will not be doing a 10 a.m. show. But tomorrow will be a little more hospitable, and tomorrow will be a little easier to do that. But for now, I want you to keep safe, stay cool, stay alive, and I'll see you on the morning show if the heat's willing. For now, bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.
Michelle and Maria Lumi, I will always be there for you. Michelle, never stop believing in yourself. Go out there and show the world what you can do. Go kick some ass and have a good time doing it. I love both of you so much. I love how far you have come on YouTube.
In the summer's embrace, she finds her way. Twisting and turning, she won't let things sway. With love for the music and fire in her soul, she dances through life, her heart in control. She won't give up, she won't sit down. In her purple dress, she twirls